Hey, it's JP. I'm just at Horseshoe Lake at Jasper, Alberta. I was just going to make a quick video on cliff jumping for beginners or people who have never done it before. Just a couple tips, a couple things that have helped me along the way, just to make sure that you don't get injured and you can have fun, stay safe. Obviously the first thing I would say is you have to stay within your skill level. I'm pretty comfortable jumping off cliffs. I've been doing it for a long time. I can go a lot higher than maybe someone who's just starting off. But I made a few notes here on my phone and I'll just go through them with you. The first one is to check to get a safe spot. So if it's a cliff that you know people jump off all the time, you know it's safe, that's good. Otherwise you want to get on a pair of goggles or something, go for a swim. Make sure you have at least 15 feet of straight down clearance. That way you know you're not going to hit the bottom. You don't want to be hitting any rocks, sticks, logs, anything that could be under there. Sometimes it's hard to tell because the water's kind of murky. But anyways, so as I show you in this clip, you can go down underneath. Just make sure that that wall goes straight down. You're not going to hit anything. You want to try and get a cliff with a bit of an overhang if you can. So that means like the cliff's going to actually come out from the point you jump off. So if you wanted to, like right here, I could just jump off. I'd be right in the water. I don't have to jump out. That's ideal. Doesn't mean you have to stick to that, but that's kind of ideal, especially for someone who's just starting out. You don't have to worry about clearing a large gap. Not to say you can't do it as you become more advanced. If there is a bit of a gap there, I guess that could be kind of exciting or whatever. But anyways, so that's kind of where you want to be with a new spot. So have a spotter, have someone there, at least one person that can swim really well in case something does happen. They can come help you out. Pretty basic. So the jump path, let's say I was jumping off here. I'm not going to, obviously, because it's shallow, but you want to just make sure it's a clear path that you're going to be jumping off. A lot of times there's little stumps and all that have been broken off, or the rocks are uneven like this, which isn't uncommon for jumping. So especially with some spots, you have to sort of run in, and so you want to make sure there's always going to be obstructions. It's never going to be perfect. It's not a diving center, so you just want to make sure you know where they are. You can pay attention to them when you're going off, and that way you can get the best footing to go off. There's nothing worse than if you were to trip just as you're about to go off a cliff. Obviously that would potentially be a huge problem. So just make sure you're watching and be mindful of that when you're going off. So you're going to want to jump away from the wall. So if it's just a standing spot, that's fine, you can just jump. Sometimes, like I said, it might not be an overhang. You might want to get out a little ways, so you're going to want to run a little bit and then jump, get a good distance out. That way you're not even close to the wall. You don't want to be anywhere near there. I guess water, once you're in the air, it's pretty natural. Your feet are going to want to hit the water first, but when you do land, you're going to want to straighten up, and you want to get rigid. You want to flex, and that's kind of the entry. Your feet don't have to be down or anything, just nice and straight up. And just make a nice entry like that. And as long as you're flexing, you shouldn't have a problem. Yeah, another tip is don't hold your nose. I know a lot of people, when they get out there, they want to grab their nose because they don't want water to go up there. It's definitely a no-no, especially when you start getting higher. It's going to rip your hand off your nose anyways, and that's probably going to hurt. Thing that I usually do is I just give a little blow air out of my nose just as I'm going into the water. Just keeps the water out of your nose. Upon entry, one of the last things is definitely don't hesitate. Once you've made your mind up that you're gonna say jump off this cliff, it's all or nothing basically at that point. On some of the smaller ones it's not such a big deal, but when you start getting up to some of the higher ones, you definitely don't want to be half in it or get up to the edge and then sort of stall but then still go, because then you might have a distance problem as you're jumping off the cliff. You want to make sure you're getting maximum distance. So as soon as you make up in your mind, I'm hitting this cliff, it's go. You just go for it, and that's basically it. It's definitely fun. People have been doing it forever, and there's no reason that you need to get injured. It's just a couple tips, pointers maybe to to help you out. Once you get more skilled, you can start doing flips and rodeos and gainers and all that kind of good stuff. Like I said, just make sure you're jumping within your skill level and you're not going to have a problem. We're here. I've done a bunch of jumping myself and shot a bunch of clips, so you can check those out. They'll be in the Horseshoe Lake Cliff Jumping video 3. So check it out. Happy jumping.